Hello, welcome back to episode 3 of the shape building digging tutorials. So since last time I changed things a little bit because I thought the circle that the first version dug out wasn't great. The first version is represented by yellow and brick, and you could see it had very long edges that didn't really look good. And the blue version and brick together is the new version I wrote. It's not really that much different. I'll show you what it does in a second. It's a very small change, but it makes a slightly nicer circle. So I'll go with that for now. So I'll just show you what I've done. Basically all I've done is rounded the answer from what you get when you calculate the distance between you and the center. And basically I'm just rounding that distance. So if it's a 0.5 decimal or higher, I will make that, I'll sort of increase that to, or round it up, that's the word I was looking for, round it up. If it's lower than a 0.5 decimal, I'll round it down and then return the answer. And rather than looking for distances smaller than the radius, I'll be looking for distances that are smaller or equal to the radius. And what that does is that means that you're digging out one block further on the edge, so where the previous version would not go to exactly the radius, it would go to one before exactly the radius. This version will dig out one extra block which is equal to exactly the radius, but also do that for a couple of blocks on the side, because it will round up the distance, round it up to be exactly the radius for a couple of blocks before going one in. And you'll see that you'll get a slightly bigger circle because of this, which is fine, but it is more circular shaped, which is much better. So we'll go with that for now. So basically the round function, it takes the decimal, which is going to be your number you put in, minus floor the number. What floor does is it removes the decimal part of the number. So you just left. So if you've got 1.5, for example, floor 1.5 would be equal to 1, because it just removes the decimal part and lowers it to the nearest whole number. And if you take 1.5 minus 1, you're left with just the decimal, which is 0.5. In this case, 0.5 would be equal to or higher than 0.5. So you would ceiling your number, which does exactly the opposite of floor. It means if you have a decimal part, it will take the closest number, which is higher than your actual number, or closest whole number, I should say. So 1.5 will become 2 in this case. And otherwise, if it was 1.4, it would become 1, and it'll return 1. So that's what round does. It basically just rounds the number like you would normally. What I'm doing is I'm rounding the distance. So at first we just had this, the square root of x squared plus z squared. Now I'm rounding that, and I'm checking whether it's smaller than or equal to the radius. And that's the only difference, the rest is still the same. Right, so now we have dug out the circle. We still need to figure out a way to stop once we've finished. So we need to change this true into something like while I'm not really sure. I think what I'll do is I'll just take the risk and go with the block behind me. What will happen though is if people make cylinders that are too small, it will get stuck in an infinite loop and never stop, basically. But too bad. So be it. See, what I wanted to do really is if x chord is equal to x dot ring and z chord to z start ring, and then just basically put a knot around this. So while you're not in your starting position, just keep going, but it will never start this while loop because it will be at this starting position when it starts doing this, so it will never actually do the ring. So one thing I could do is just like do a very ugly. Yeah. Oh, this is so annoying. Actually, that's a good point. I've not often needed to do a do while in Lua, or at all, to be honest. So your do while is different from just a regular while. Oh Jesus, what the hell? Let's go to Lua here. It doesn't have a do while construct, but you can apparently do this. That's interesting. Let me just explain what I'm thinking about here. So your regular while will check whatever's in the while statement and then decide whether it's going to do what's in here first. Do while will do this first and then check basically what's in the while statement. So what will happen is you'll always at least execute this once before it does this check. So what it would look like in Lua, in a lot of other languages, it would be do, and then you would have a bracket, and the bracket while, and then blah 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 blah. In the case of Lua, it is repeat apparently, and then was it until? Yeah, until. God, that's ugly. No, don't worry. Until we. And I have to get rid of this knot. Oh Jesus, this is so ugly. Alright. So basically it's going to be this. It's going to be doing this until the x chord is equal to start ring and the z chord is equal to start ring, in principle. I am absolutely terrified by this, I've got to admit. Let me just get rid of all that. I have no idea whether this will work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Dig cylinder. There we go. Well, it's running. That's a good thing, I guess. I don't know if I saved it though, but oh well. Right, so I'm just going to let this guy go around. In the meantime, let's think about how we're going to remove all this middle crap in the middle here. What I'm thinking is we're going to end up over here. We're going to end up in our starting position. What I'm thinking of is going left, going in one, and then right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start just tracing the outside. So we're going to do while there's a block in front of us. Oh, that's not going to work actually, because you might run into caves and stuff. That's annoying. I have to think about that. Yeah, because otherwise you could just go, while there's not a block in front of me, go forward, and once there is an empty space in front of me, go left, and then right, and you're basically doing the same as this algorithm, except you're checking to see if there's an empty space in front of you, rather than checking the radius. But if you run into a cave, like in the middle of your circle here, you're going to have a problem. So I'm not entirely sure how to deal with that. Now he's close to the end here. Hopefully he will actually stop once he gets to the end. And if he doesn't stop, I'll be very sad. And if he does stop it, I'll find it absolutely hilarious. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, he stopped. Nice. Awesome. Okay, good. So, a repeat until is a do while, so it will do this first, so it always does this once at least, and then it will check the while statement. So that way I'm going to get off of the starting X chord and X and Z chord, and then it will do the whole process, and only then start checking whether I end up on the same place. So, you know, this is legitimately the first time I've actually had to use a do while, so I'm quite chuffed. Right. So that we'll do that. I don't know how long I've been recording now. I've been a little bit. Let me just see how I can see that here. I've got total time 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes already. Right, so this episode didn't get as far as I wanted to, so I guess next episode we will start working on the inside of the circle here and clearing that out somehow. So anyway, this is a quick update on a little bit of a better circle and stopping at your start coordinate here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode.